Hey, welcome back. Again, as we've been for the yesterday and all morning today, we're at WPPI. This is day 2. We're in the Bay Photo booth, and the show has just been terrific this morning. A lot of good traffic, a lot of great new products. And this next segment, we're going to interview John from Photobiz. So John, welcome.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you, Skip.
So talk to me about what is Photobiz?
Well, Photobiz is a managed website solution, and we go way above and beyond what your traditional template companies will do for you. With us, we really focus on building a partnership with our clients, and so we don't just hand you a website, take your money, and say, all right, we'll see you out there and good luck. With us, we work with you from day one. As soon as you start out with us, we give you a call, we find out about your business, we take the time to actually learn about who you are and what your story is, and then we help you put together the website that you want that really represents your brand online.
You know a little bit of my background, and I spend a lot of time with photographers analyzing their websites. There's some horrible stuff out there, and it ranges from template sites that people have bought, and then they knew they needed a site, so they got one.
Right.
But the reality is that you can't be in business today without a website, and you can't be in business today without a great website and a blog, and you need continuity in the look, you need design elements. Talk to me about the process. So a photographer sits down with you and says, here's what I want to have, and I don't want it to look like my kid designed it. And there are a lot of them out there where the kid took a Photoshop class and a design class, and they're, I don't know, sophomore, junior in high school, and Dad, Mom, let me fix your website.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the process of how you work with a photographer right out of the blogs, because that's so important to understand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, with us, like I said, as soon as someone starts with us, we give you a call. Our branding team will call you and ask you about your business, who you are, what you do, why do you do what you do. And so we take all those elements about your business. We ask you, hey, if you could describe the perfect customer for you, if the perfect client could walk through your studio doors every day, who would it be? All right, now let's take that and let's make your website appeal to them. We really focus on site engagement, and so the content on your site, it all speaks to that target audience. And so we work with you, like I said, day one, but it's all easy enough where if you can use a keyboard and a mouse, you're already a Photobiz expert. It's that easy.
Well, I love the fact that you're getting into their head first, because there's so many photographers out there that don't think about their audience or their target. They want to be, and let's use a children's photographer as a great example. They know they want to photograph kids, and they don't think about their location, their community, the demographics of their target. It's almost as if every now and then you'd expect to find a children's photographer in Bay Harbor Island, Florida, where the average age is 85, and the only time kids are there are at Thanksgiving and the holidays.
Right.
So I love the fact that you get, what's the next step? So you've helped them define their business a little bit. What's the next step that you would normally go to in terms of the process of designing a website for them, and then the points along the way where they're going to look at it and say, all right, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with us, we really focus on site usability and site engagement. And so we really make sure that, one, your site's easy to navigate, two, the content of your site, like I said, speaks to your customers, but three, your site looks good everywhere. So it doesn't matter if it's on a phone, if it's on an iPad, if it's on a computer, if it can get on the internet, it looks good. And so, we really like to make sure that the site's easy to get around, and you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I'm on an iPad. There's no way to view it, or it looks totally different. Like you said, brand continuity, it's the same everywhere. And then once your site's launched, that's where our service really goes up a whole nother level. One challenge that I always hear for folks that don't use us is, well, I can't ever get help. If I need help, I have to pay a web developer, or I have to send an email, or I have to do a Google search. With us, we're a phone call away. You pick up the phone, and it literally does not matter what the question is about your website. If it's a technical question, if it's a question about search engine optimization, if you need help with design, you can pick up the phone and get our experts on the phone, and we will help you out with literally everything about your site.
I love that.
It's a big thing.
So typically, what would the time element be from the time a photographer sits down with you and says, okay, I like it, I want to go with you guys. What's the time element typically? And again, I know it varies depending on availability of the photographer. And,
right.
One of the things that everybody always forgets is that as a photographer, if I'm going to hire you, I've got a responsibility too to get you the images, to get you the content. You can't, although you probably could, your goal is not to build content for me, but to build the way my content is presented. So what's the time element typically from the time they start to the time somebody's website would go live? And I know that varies a little bit. But
I usually see people up within a week. It's really that easy. Because you can log into photobiz.com and you can update your site anytime that you want to. And the big thing that I always hear when people get started with us is, I love this. It's like a new toy. I stayed up all night working on my site, and the hard part is that there's too many choices. There's so much stuff that I can do with it. So usually what I see is about a week for a turnaround time for a new site getting launched from the day that they walk in the door with us to actually pushing play and hitting that thing and getting it out there. And it's really that easy. And then you're not stuck with that same look forever. It's managed. So our photographers, our clients can go in, they can update their site anytime that they need to. And they don't have to rely on, the web developer or anything like that. It's really, really simple.
What do you do in terms of some of the analytics? What is it? What does a typical client like to look at? What should they look at? Throw some tips out there.
Well, the big thing I always say is focus on your bread and butter. One big mistake I see a lot of people make in terms of their website is, hey, I've got this website, I'm just going to throw everything I do out there. And it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to throw out all my weddings, I'm going to throw out my portraits, I'm going to throw out my commercial stuff. And it's this big mismatch of stuff on a site, and it doesn't speak to anybody. And so with those types of websites, I always say, hey, let's focus on what your main stream of revenue is for your studio. Let's make your main website tell that. You can do sub-sites that speak to these other client types, and you can market that out as a subdomain, but make sure your main website tells your story and it's really focused on your main business. That's the biggest thing I can put out there.
I see that all the time. When I do a website review, and they'll run anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes with a photographer, I will see the most amazing collection of horrible decisions.
Yeah.
Because what people forget about is what you show is going to be what you sell.
Right.
And if you talk about some of the great portrait photographers, Michelle Celentano doesn't show thumbnails. She's got big canvases when she sits down with a client because that's what she sells. That's what she believes in. That's why she's an artist. And you're going to somebody's website and they've got a little bit of everything. Because, well, I might get a high school senior that I'd love to shoot some seniors. Well, if you want to shoot some seniors, then build a section of your site dedicated to it with more images than just your nephew or niece that you had, because you've got to have some models and some content there. Also, galleries. I mentioned this in a previous interview with somebody yesterday. I was on a website a couple of years ago where the woman had 4,200 images in her galleries.
That's insane.
You don't need more than 6 to 10, let's say.
Right.
And why would you show work that wasn't better than Uncle Harry's?
Right.
Put your best work up. So when you're working with a client, do you have moments of brilliance? Well, of course you do. That's a stupid way to ask it. Do you have moments where you'll say to a client, no, you don't want to do that?
Absolutely. We really focus on giving our expertise to clients, and so I've seen the same thing. A home page on a website that has 80 images in it. If you think about it, the relationship I build with customers, I always say, put yourself in the consumer's shoes. So think about your own experiences on a website. And you come to a website, what's the first thing you do? When you hit that home page, you might be there for a couple seconds, but you're going to click on the thing that you came to find out. And so if you bury your best work in the bottom of a gallery on page 1, and you've got 80 images in there, nobody ever sees it. So you want to really put your best work at the top. I always say for a portfolio style website, have 80 to 100 images tops across the entire site. You're putting your best work forward. You're not overwhelming people with a ton of content. You're showcasing what you want people to see, and that's what sells your services. It's definitely not quantity, it's quality.
There's a great line that I got from a marketing consultant, oh my God, 25, 30 years ago by the name of Ed Foreman. The line is, if I can see the world through my client's eyes, then I can sell my client what my client buys. The whole point being, you want to be able to show them work that hits on what they're most interested in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So where do people go to find more about Photobiz?
You go to photobiz.com, and we offer 3 different styles of websites, and it's for, everything we do is targeted towards photographers. So, we're not a company that throws out, hey, we don't care what kind of business you have. We say, hey, this is specifically for photographers and visual artists, and you're working with a company that cares about your business. You can choose from a portfolio style website, a blog website, or an e-commerce website. And from there, you'll see that we do offer custom services as well. And so for our customers that don't have time or don't have any desire, if you just want to, if you want a professional designer to do it for you, you can buy a custom site from us. If you need, if you want someone to do your SEO, you can hire our team of Google certified experts to do your SEO for you. So we really offer a wide range of services, and it's easy enough that anybody that can use a keyboard and a mouse can use it. But we even have the high-end stuff for clients that say, hey, you know what, just do it for me, boys. I want you guys to have it done, and I don't even want to mess with it. So super, super easy.
All right, did we miss some slides in there?
No.
Were there more?
No.
Fantastic.
So we actually have an exclusive deal for SPTV clients. It's a 50% off promotion, and so you can use the code SPTV, and you'll see the URL here. We have a special page set up for everyone that has Skip's face on it, so you got to at least go to see that.
No, you don't. All right, John. Hey. Thank you. Great stuff. I need everybody to remember something. I'm going to say it again. You cannot be in business without a decent website today. Your website is the equivalent of what a bricks and mortar storefront might have been a few years back. You've got to have a great website. And if you've got a website out there that's just average and you're showing average work, then don't expect to raise the bar on 2015 being the best year you've ever had. John, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back in a few minutes with Justin and Mary Morantz.